Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shilpi, and I am the Relationship Manager with the Global Education and Training Institute. And I'm once again, welcoming you back to a live session of GETI Talks. And this time I have Mr. Sandeep, who is Mr. Sandeep SS. He's a former assistant professor with Malankara Catholic College. And he has been into education for past few years. And so, what is he going to talk about is that, the need to read more books. Yes, why is it important to read books? Because as it is, reading actually not just opens up your mind and it doesn't only give you answers to your questions, but reading is also important because it gives you a better view to the world outside. It's not that you can visit all the places. Even if you are a traveler, you'll not be able to travel the world altogether in one go. Neither can you know about the culture and cuisine of any country. So what is the best way to do it? To read books, right? So now, thank you, Mr. Sandeep, for joining in the disruptive education movement started by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. I give the platform to you to speak on this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Shilpi ma'am, for having this wonderful introduction. I'm very happy to be a part of this program. So today I'm going to talk about the need to read more books. That's my topic. And today I'm going to discuss about the need to improve reading skills in English, and also the need to talk in English or read books in English, and the need to read books for the children. Okay. So I'll share my screen with you. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, so let me start with an introduction. The need to read more books. So our children need to be more focused on reading. It's also like that. They have to be critically analyze the things around them. So from early childhood, children have to be in close contact with the books. So they have to be in way more touch with books than us. Because the new world, they are not thinking about books. They are just only thinking about the games, mobile phones, that kinds of platforms. But we have to give more emphasis on books, because students need to be more focused on books. Then only they can learn a lot of things. Because a book is a platform for them to study a lot of things. Each book makes them learn a lot of things about life, our world, our nature, everything. So that's a very important thing that we need to understand. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. The first question is, why do you need to read books? That's a quite a question, because when I was teaching in a school, one student asked me, "Sir, why do we need to read books?" Because we don't need to read any books or anything, because we have everything on Google. While Google, we got all the things there. So do we need to read books? So there's a question was there. So there are some benefits of reading there, because there are some benefits and there are some things that we can use for reading. So what we need is a useful reading. Whatever you would need, it should be useful for you. Like reading whatever, it should make a brief introduction or something like that. Okay, so there are some benefits for reading. That's what we are going to discuss now. It creates a mental stimulation for a student. It creates a beautiful mental stimulation for them, and it makes them to understand, or it makes them too much more creative than others. Okay, then other thing is that they can reduce stress. Stress reduction is something that is very important nowadays, because students, maybe we are in a mood of stress or something. So when we move on to another a new topic, maybe your stress will be reduced a lot. So reading book creates stress reduction. Stress reduction is nowadays is very important. So other thing is knowledge is whatever you want, because critically thinking, critical analysis, diverse thinking, whatever it is all included in this knowledge. A book is a platform for knowing a lot of things like general knowledge or nature or anything else, whatever it is, because books mean a lot of things. So knowledge is a platform for like that. Next one is vocabulary expansion. For Indians, it is very important for us to improve our vocabulary. vocabulary in English. So reading English books makes them to read a lot of understand a lot of vocabulary, and a collection of vocabulary will be in the minds of the students. So reading vocabulary is very important. So each book provides a lot of vocabulary and a lot of things like that. Okay. The next one is memory improvement. Memory improvement, like last year, a student, suppose a student reads 10 or 12 books. If you ask them, maybe he can remember these 12 books. So these are all. This is also a very good thing, because he can remember 12 books, and maybe he can remember the story about that, or maybe he can remember the characters. If he enjoys a lot, he can remember all the incidents. So through the way, he can improve his memory a lot. Then stronger analytical thinking skills. There are a lot of strong analytical thinking skills, because a book is a platform for thinking. Where if you are reading a book like Harry Potter, if you are reading Harry Potter, your imagination will improve, because you are not seeing any characters there. You are just imagining a world without any boundaries, a world with witchcraft and everything. So there, your thinking skills and everything improves, and your analytical things and everything improves. Okay. The next one is improved focus and concentration, because for reading a book we need a lot of concentration and focus. The concentration depends on different kinds of books. Like in some books, like for a fiction or a fiction book or a novel, we don't need that much of concentration. But if you are reading a essay, like it was written by if it was written by Emerson or Thoreau, you have to be very focused on that, because the student needs to read a lot of things about that. Not only they can understand what is happening there, because they have to be more focused on that. The next one is better writing skills. When you read a lot in English, you can write a lot in that language, because already I had told you about vocabulary. The vocabulary improves and everything improves, and through that way they can improve their writing skill. Then another thing is inner peace, because some books create inner peace, like the one is The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho. So Paulo Coelho wrote the book in a very different tone, and it's like a revelation or something like that for the readers. So that kind of novels creates a tranquility or inner peace to the readers. Next one is it's a free entertainment. It creates a free entertainment, because everybody can create a free entertainment for all the character, all of them, like that. Okay, so these are the things to read a book. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. How can you read a book? That's a question I often faces in the classroom system, because I'm a literature teacher, and some students ask is, how can we read a book? So that's a question I often faces. So let's talk about how can you, because if you want to read a book, you have to find your likes and dislikes, your preferences, whatever you want. First of all, first thing you need is you have to make an keen interest in reading a book. Also, make a time every day. Set a time every day. Set a time, morning or evening. Make a time which is so calm and quiet. So it will be very easy for you to focus on the book. So that will be a very good idea. Will be there. And next one is how to select a book. From there we can talk about how to select a book. For selecting a book, there are a lot of things you have to take into account, because people often wonder how to select a book. If you are going to a library, there will be a lot of collection of books, and you are be so confused. If you are taking your children, if you are taking your children to the library, the children will be amused by the number of books. Maybe he or she cannot find out a book specifically. So that's a problem. So first thing you have to do is to find the likes and dislikes. For the students also, they have to find the likes and dislikes of a dislike. So they have to think about some students like science fiction, some students like essays, some students like romantic novels. So each of them have their own preferences. So we have to understand their each and every preferences, and then use the mechanism. Then only they can talk to them. uh, some people may be interested in specific topics. So sometimes about crime thrillers. Some people are so much fans of Sherlock Holmes. So they only read the detective novels. They don't like anything else. They may be not interested in crime thrillers. In love stories or anything. They are only in crime thrillers. So they can choose Sherlock Holmes and their kind of lot of books. So everybody has their own suggestions and they have their own books. So they have to find their suggestion, and you can search in the Google or somewhere you can find out what our books are there. Then you can take the book. Then when you find a like or dislike in a book or your favorite book, you can start reading. Okay, the next one is the thing is make personal preference. That's why I have already talked to you because you have to make personal preference. For some people, like historical novels, historical rewriting history, like our in India, there's a famous writer called Amish Tripathi or Amish. His writings are everything about our mythology. Our mythologies are being recreated by him, and some people like to read that kinds of books. So if you like to know more about mythology or something like that, or rereading books, you can select that. Or if you are interested in histories or historical novels, you can go for that. That's all on the other side. Next one is the categories of books. Because some categories of books means categories of sections we have available here. Short stories are available here because some people want to finish it very easily. They don't want to spend a lot of time reading. So they can choose for short stories. Malayalam writer R.K. Narayan or these kinds of writers wrote a lot of short stories. These short stories influence us very much because in maybe it will end in 3 or 4 pages. For the starters or the beginners can start with short stories. Short stories are very easy to read, very easy to understand, very easy to follow that. So we don't need to know a lot of characters. We don't need to understand. We don't need to spend a lot of time for that. We don't need to spend a lot of days for a novel. We just need to save some time for that. So short stories are very useful. For the students, it will be for the for the beginners, for the primary students, it is better to give short stories. It will enable them to read a lot. Okay. The next one is essays. Essays are in many types because there are essays of Thoreau, Emerson like writers. There are essays of small so writers. So we can select the preferences and we can read whatever essays we read. Essays are a little more serious than other things. So for the serious people or the serious mind, you can start reading essays. Or if you want to know more about a topic, the best thing to read is essays. So historical essays are there. Then other types of many types of essays are there. You can select whatever you want. The next one is plays. Plays is dramas. From the Shakespeare itself, there are a lot of dramas coming out there. And if you are interested in reading dramas, it's a very good choice because a lot of dramas there. Now modern dramas of such as the Glass Menagerie, then Rhinoceros, like a lot of lots of plays are there. They are so wonderful and so symbolic and so exciting. So if you want, you can read that kinds of plays. That's all. And also there's a Harry Potter latest edition, the Harry Potter, the Cursed Child. It's also a play. They have written like in a play form. So you can also, if you want to read more about like if you like plays, you can choose plays. Next, poems. Some are more interested in reading poems because I don't know why, because I am not at all interested a man of poems. I most of all prefer novels, essays, or short stories. Some people give more preference to poems. Poems are a little we can easily read that, but the meaning will be very difficult to understand. But it is also a perfect choice for the reader. Then novels. Novels are for the readers. Most of the readers, because I found that most of the readers love to read novels. Because novels are like it is easy to understand. It is very easy to follow it. So people tend to use novels because it's a story-like form, and we can easily follow it. Okay. For novels, there are also some genres, some classifications are there, like science fiction. For the students or the people who like science fiction, they can use science fiction films. It may be about the pictures of the new technology in science, something like that. The students are more interested in science fiction, they can use that. Then there are historical novels that I have already talked about that. because if you like histories or the rewriting of histories, you can choose for historical novels. It will be very useful because you can understand the main thing or the incident that happened on that particular day. You can read that. Then another thing is crime thrillers. Crime thriller, like Sherlock Holmes also a crime thriller. There are a lot of crime thrillers are available in writing. But Sherlock Holmes is the most famous one. It's written by Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay. The next one is detective novels, I already. Then romantic novels. Romantic novels. Most of the higher secondary students prefers higher secondary and college for starting beginners prefers romantic novels because romantic novels are very easy to follow. Like we have also a writer like that. Like he wrote 5 Point Someone, the Three Idiots, that kind of right. So these are for the beginners. They can easily start reading and they can easily follow them like a film. I think these writings are like 5 Point Someone, Half Girlfriend. These kinds of novels are all like for the beginners. They can easily understand the story and they can end it with a one read. Like we can easily end it with one read. Okay. So these are the categories of books that's available in a book. There are a lot of other packages available, like specifically about a topic are available. That's a different category. Okay. Then next we are talking about ebooks and possibilities because now ebooks are more preference now here because ebooks have more preference here. In the time now also people are more interested in ebooks. Like a lot of books are there, like Google Books. If you in your mobile you can search about Google Books and it's available in your Play Store. If you want, you can purchase it and you can use it. And also there are books like Apple. I have shown a photo of books in Apple form. In that it's a books of Apple Books. There also you can purchase a book and you can read it. Because now every application or every software provides a wide opportunity to read a lot of books in their phones also. There is also a reading mode in that book, in that phone or in the laptop or anything. And you can use that for reading a lot of books. Maybe students will also interested in reading a book in a phone. Okay, that's also a books, and also PDF books are also available a lot in here. And the main thing in ebooks, the major change that we are going to face is we are going to talk about next time. The Amazon Kindle, the new trend. Because I don't know how many of them have used to Amazon Kindle because I'm using one, and I felt like it is one of the best device I have ever used for reading. Because it's not for any other thing. It's only for reading. It's an ebook reader, and also it was introduced by Amazon company, and they introduced this Amazon Kindle, and it has an anti-glare screen. As you see, you can see that you can read it like a book. It feels like a book, and you can feel it like a book and use it like a book. And also, if you want to understand the meaning of a word, you just need to need to long press on that word, and you will get the meaning. So I think to improve, it's a way of a new life. It's a way of new trend. Because in the time of COVID pandemic also, Kindle was there because we cannot go to a library and we cannot use a book. But here Kindle and also Google Books and everything was there. We can use it. So it's a new technology and it's a very good improvement in the technology. And it is I think there are 3 models are available there. And there is a subscription offer is also there, I think, in Amazon in 999 per year. There's software subscription there. So in there, if you want, you can read a lot of books, and also if you want, new books has to be purchased separately. I think so. So if you want to, if you like to use Kindle, it will be very useful for you because Kindle is a new trend in reading, and it is very useful for it. You can also give the students because when you use a phone or a laptop, the screen will be disturbing you, and your eyes will be irritating. There will be irritating eyes will be there. So the best thing you can use it to use a Kindle. This is only used for reading, and if you can easily give it to your son or your daughter, children, because they won't go for browsing for anything else. They will only focus on the reading because it can be only used for reading, and it is also black and white screen. So there is nothing there is only you can only purchase a book and you can use it. There is no other facilities there. So for the students who can be more focused on reading, they can use Kindle, and you will not be disappointed because it is one of the wonderful things that I have ever used. Okay, so it's a Kindle. The next one is COVID-19 and reading habits, because COVID-19 made us a lot of reading habits, sister. Because even the if nothing is because our libraries are not working, nothing is working. So, but through Kindle and all other applications, people have started reading a lot. Because I have seen students are also interested in reading books because they don't get an opportunity to go to school or do anything. So reading habits, I think so in COVID-19 this situation, this reading habits are has improved a lot, because I have also finished some of the books, and also I have seen a lot of parents were saying that the students were in the their their children were finished a lot of books because they like to read something. But I have to do something. For a time, the TV and radio, everything is boring, so they are going back to the booking, the reading culture, and they have started reading again and again. Maybe that will be a lesson for us. Okay, next one is so here I'm going to wind up 10 minutes more, I think. 5 minutes to improve your reading habits. So I'm going to discuss about the 5 tips. I'm giving a 5 tips for improving your reading habit, not only for the elder people, it's also for the students, because for all of them, it is a very good technique to improve your reading habits. The first one is that read fun and compelling books, because when you start reading a fun and compelling book, it will never disappoint you, and you will start being interested in reading. So you will find out the next book, because if you some books in Harry Potter, we have Harry Potter part 1, part 2, part 3, part 7. So when you start reading part 1, and if you start interested in reading that book, you will read all the books. So that's a new, because we can improve learning. We can improve reading through that. It's a very good mechanism. It's a very good technique to use that. So if try to find what is more interesting, and find a read fun and compelling books. Most of the time it will be like romantic stories or science story, whatever it is, whatever is making you to like that. Just pick that book and just start reading that. Okay. Some books will not allow you to put that on the table, because it always asks you to do and do and do more. Read it. So some books ask you to read it till the end. So it will be better to select a compelling book. Next one is read every day. The best thing to improve your reading is to read every day. Every day reading improves your language skills, everything that it is, because it's better to find a day. It's better to find a day for our time, a specific time. If you want, you can pick early morning, or if you want, you can pick the late in the night. You can pick a calm and quiet time. There is no disturbance or anything. You can start reading, and after you start reading, you can, if you want, you can spend about half or 1 hour there, and after spending that time, you can make it a habit. Then it will create a habit, and you will start reading every day. Okay, so make a habit, and make it a habit to the students also, for the children also. The third one is to set a goal. So setting a goal, because setting a goal means try to set a goal for a week. Actually, if I am picking a book and I'm saying that I'm going to finish the book in 1 week or 1 month or 1 week or 2 weeks, and then I'm going to pick another book. So when you set a goal, it will be a very good thing. And try to complete that book in the fixed time. When you set a goal, you should be very careful. You should be very careful that you can complete it on time, and try to complete it on a particular or the correct time. So when you end it in the correct time, what you have, we can set the goal a little more less after the next book. So the best thing you have to do is, if you want, you can also create a year plan. So think about that. When you create a year plan, maybe you will see that it's a very big burden you are following. So you can also, if you want, you can make monthly plan or weekly plan, also year plan. You can, whatever goal you want, you can create it. Try to follow that goal. Okay. The next one is get a new book before you finish the current one. So technique, it is one of the best technique is to improve your learning reading skills, because get a new book. When you get a new book before finishing the current one, you will finish the current book and you will start read in the next book. But don't ever stop the current one and go to the new book. Just finish the current one and just go to new book. Okay. So or else it will be mixed up. Next one is take trips to the library. So when you take a trip to a library, try to take your children with you to the library. Maybe they will also interest in the books. And don't compel them to read one book or another. Make them to take a book. So when they take a book, they will not stop. They will not reading. They will try to read and they will try to enter. So try to pick your child with you. And also in my state in Kerala, in our state, in some schools on Saturdays they used to conduct library visit for the primary or primary or upper primary students. They used to conduct uh, library visits to enhance reading. And the teacher will be following them, and the teacher will ask the students to pick up a book. You have to pick one or two books if you like, and you can pick a book and you can finish it on the next week. On the next Saturday, he has to return back and he has to write a small write up about the book. So this is happening in our government schools in Kerala. This is one of the best method that I know, because it is a very good method to improve reading. Okay, then next one. So next I'm going to wind up. The last thing, because you can see a small picture, the name is there, Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. So he's a famous Malayalam writer. He's a famous writer, and he's famous for his satire writing, and he has novels, Balyavalasi, and a lot of writings are there. He's a Malayalam writer actually. So why I show this picture, because it's a cartoon, because it is his dream. Because in all his writing, he want to sit under a tree and in a calm and silent atmosphere, with a gramophone next to him. You can see a gramophone next to him, because it's a very old time, because before our independence. So a gramophone and an armchair, and sit there. Here he is writing. Actually, he want to read there. So he want to sit in a calm and quiet place with a gramophone and a place. He want to sit there and he want to create and he want to read in a very peaceful manner. Okay, so like that, because I am showing this picture because I have to show you that you can also create place like a calm and quiet place in your house. You can also create these kinds of place in your home, and you can create a home and in a small example, wherever you want, you can select a place and you can read very well. Okay, so happy reading to all of you, and thank you for all who are listening here. And my presentation is over. Is anybody there, madam?
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Actually, I was listening to you very intently, and all the
Thank you.
questions coming to my mind, I think you answered them very well. So, I would like to know from you, many would like to know for that matter. There are people who are least interested in reading, instead of reading, they would like to watch something else, especially
Yes.
when in the age of YouTube and you have so many things available. So instead of reading, they would love to watch. So in a little thing, would you like to tell us, like, what is the difference between watching the same thing and reading the same thing? What do I gain if I read more than watching?
Oh, the main thing is that if we can take an example of Harry Potter. If you watch a
Hmm.
film of Harry Potter or if you watch a book of Harry Potter, there are two differences there. Because when
Yes.
you see a film, when you see the film, you can see the characters and they are showing you. They are showing you that this is what happens there. But when you read a book, you feel that you are creating in your mind. The creation overcomes, and you are creating a new world in your mind. It's
Yes.
it is something we cannot explain. For every people's mind, they are creating their own world, their own
Yes.
world of witchcraft. So reading is more funny and more imaginative than TV or another mechanism.
Yes, I do believe that because, even if they say we are not interested in reading, but we are actually interested in reading because, we want to know, we want to read somebody else's mind. We want to know what is going on in a person's mind. So it is not that when people say, oh, I don't like reading, because you cannot. You want to know. Our very basic instinct as a human being is to know. We want to
Yes.
know everything, and therefore I think that is what leads us to discoveries, inventions, and writing and explanations. So therefore, another question, that would be the ending, last one of the questions,
Okay.
like how do we inculcate this reading habit in the child? Children, they don't want to read, they want to play PUBG, they want to do something else. But yeah, they how do you put it into them? Because I think they're too much burdened with their course books, they're too much burdened with their own projects and everything, that I think somewhere they are not so keen to read. So how do we give that little motivation to them?
The main thing we can do is to make them to go to the library with us and make them to read something, because for them I have to say that they have to, when you start reading they have to understand, because PUBG or other games they're just entertainment. But when you start reading a book, because in a classroom, a boy or a student who reads book and the student who does not read book, there's a lot of differences. Because the one who reads book, he has a very good language and he has a very good vocabulary, and also he will be a very good knowledge about everything. So the main thing is that when a student reads, we can just notice them, because his the way of behavior, everything changes, because he understands the culture and everything of other people and everything. So the people, the students who does not read, have to improve themselves, because or else we cannot survive in this society, because every day everything is changing. So if you improve our language, or if you improve our everything our knowledge and improve, everything changes, or else I cannot sure about.
Thank you. Yeah. So I believe that, thank you so much. You have given very apt answers. And gifting a book is the best gift that you can give anybody, because we believe that the books are the best friends of a man. When you're alone and, have nothing to do, you can pick up a book. You have books which are available according to your mood swings. You're happy, you can read a comic. You are sad, you can read a motivational book. And yes, when you pick up books from the library which are years old, the smell of the book, the yellow pages of the book, I think it brings back a lot of memories to you. So reading, especially picking up a book and reading, is something which is not just a mental activity. It is a sentimental activity, and it's an emotional activity. You feel so connected with the characters. You feel as if you are almost because imagination gets a little more, it becomes active, so you're almost living the story, you're almost living in that place and instance. So thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep. It was a wonderful afternoon listening to such a short and crisp presentation on the need to read books. Thank you so much. And the audience, please, there are more informative sessions coming up in the near future. So stay tuned in. Thank you so much.